Wildcat has so much potential to be a great GCI, but the fact that it's rough ruined the ride for me. This would be such a good ride! What is up, enthusiasts? It is Cedar Flags here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today, I'm going to be talking about a breaking news story coming out of Hershey, Pennsylvania. Now, this has been speculated for a while, but we have just gotten confirmation from the park itself that they are closing Wildcat, the GCI wooden prototype coaster opening all the way back in 1996. Throughout the past few months, we've seen other signs of it closing, like markers throughout the ride and just teasers that they've come up with. And I have to say, I think that this is a very interesting news story because it is a big deal. This ride offers a major plot of land and a major structure of wood and a lot of assets to be played around with. And I definitely think that something is going to replace this ride that is going to be one of Hersheypark's best. This is Cedar Flags, and today we are going to go over the closure of Wildcat at Hersheypark. So let's talk about the facts. And the first fact is that yesterday, July 8th, 2022, Hersheypark officially announced the closure of Wildcat. We know this, they showed an aerial photo of the ride, and they said that the last time that people could ride it is the 31st of July. But there's a little more in this. About 3 days ago, Hersheypark also posted a video of a guy with a megaphone, and he is on a stage. There's a cage next to him with a creature in it. Now, many people thought that this was going to be a Hersheypark in the Dark ad, but it seems like a little bit more. They flashed a date July 12th, which is in 3 days, which is very soon, but do we know if that's going to be when they announce the replacement? I'm not 100% sure because that is very, very close from now. I would say glue your eyes to this plot of land. If you're at the park, look at what the park is doing, especially if there's active construction, because a lot is going on and a lot is going to happen with this plot of land. Now, I want to talk about my personal thoughts on this. As a coaster enthusiast and someone that follows a lot of roller coaster news stories, I think, in general terms, this is a great idea, despite my opinions on Wildcat. In fact, I think Wildcat is the best wooden coaster at Hersheypark, in my opinion. It's not as rough as people say, in my opinion, and I think it delivers some pretty good elements. But nonetheless, I think when it comes to the general consensus of the ride, I think this is the best ride to remove at this point in time. Like I said, there are so many other rides at Hersheypark that offer so much more. In fact, I have two good reasons on why Wildcat definitely should be the next to go. One, it offers nothing unique at Hershey. When you look at the other wooden coasters in the park, Lightning Racer and Comet, both of those coasters offer something unique, while Wildcat doesn't really. Lightning Racer is more modern, it's smoother, and it's debatably more intense on better days. Looking at Comet, that's an old-fashioned historic wooden coaster, it's an ace coaster landmark, and when it comes to Wildcat, it really doesn't offer that much. Yeah, it has a little bit of history behind it, but at the same time, I don't really think it's as historically significant as some people like to say. And I think that making a replacement would be better than just keeping this ride around, because like I said, it barely gets any lines, it's not that popular anymore, and it does not have a lot to offer compared to its counterparts. The second thing is that this area of the park has nothing thrilling. If you go beyond Fahrenheit at Hersheypark, besides the water park, you're not going to find anything too exciting for the thrill seeker. Yeah, you have Lightning Racer and Laugh Track, but nothing crazy, nothing that goes upside down, nothing that has out-of-this-world airtime moments. And when it comes to this area of the park, I think that this area needs a new world-class attraction. And that fit would be, well, an RMC replacement. We've seen RMCs in the past that have completely transformed the structure of a roller coaster. Look at rides like Mean Streak at Cedar Point or Rattler at Fiesta, Texas. When they closed down, many people didn't have the biggest of hopes, but when they opened up again as their RMC counterparts, they absolutely rocked. And everyone looks at Wildcat's layout and everyone's thinking the same thing. RMC. And oh my goodness, would this be a good one. Reason number one is that it would just be a great fit for that area of the park. Like I said in my thoughts, there isn't really anything inverting in that area, let alone thrilling at all. Yeah, Lightning Racer could have some decent airtime pops, but looking at the part of the park, it doesn't have an extreme thrill. Some of the greatest rides in the park are in the front or even middle of the park, but this area of the park desperately needs a thrill like an RMC. Reason number 2, it combines inversions with airtime. There are rides at Hersheypark that thrive with airtime like Skyrush and Candemonium. There are rides that thrive with inversions like Great Bear and Fahrenheit, but this one would combine the two and ultimately be one of the most well-rounded coasters in the park. Reason number 3, there are no RMCs nearby. Yeah, you can make an argument for a ride like Twisted Timbers or Wicked Cyclone, or even Steel Vengeance, but those are truly nowhere near. Looking at the general public that visits Hersheypark, they're most likely living near the Harrisburg area, and they are probably going to go to parks like Knoebels and Dorney before parks like King's Dominion and Six Flags New England, because us Thusies are the ones that travel out of our way. Anyways, this would be a very unique coaster to the area, and a ride like Jersey Devil would not be anywhere similar besides the manufacturer. This would be a very unique coaster for the area, and with the unique airtime moments that separate it from rides like Skyrush and Candemonium, it would be an extremely unique ride. Now, looking at the ride's layout itself, what could it feature? Well, I could see it being a few dozen feet taller than its regular GCI counterpart. I could see it being around 130 feet tall and have just a very similar layout, follow the old layout type, and have around 3 inversions. I could see one right after the first drop. I could see 2 0G rolls on this thing and maybe a 0G stall. I could kind of see a layout similar to Joker at Discovery Kingdom, but taller and more forceful. Something like a hybrid between Storm Chaser and Joker. And this ride, even though it would combine inversions with airtime, would mostly focus on airtime. I mean, it is an RMC, and let's be honest, RMC loves to focus on airtime. I would say it could have a good candy theme, maybe a Twizzler theme, which I would love, and I think an overall major overhaul to this area would be a great idea. This area has not gotten a lot of treatment lately and just overall looks outdated and generic. Now there are a few alternatives that I could see, but less likely. I could see a single rail here, but I truly think the RMC hybrid would be a better option. At the end of the day, I think an RMC would easily be the best fit here. I can't think of a single other roller coaster model that can come here and be as great as RMC Wildcat, or a single rail, which would be okay too, but I'm really opting for RMC Wildcat. And a lot of people have been talking about Titan Track, but I really just don't think that's going to happen, simply because they announced that the ride was closing, and other rides that have gotten Titan Track treatments have announced that the ride will stay open. So overall, my final prediction, RMC Wildcat have a completely different theme because of many great reasons, have 3 inversions, have a lot of airtime moments, I say at least 14, and have a nice twister layout with some banked airtime moments, and have a great well-rounded attraction at Hersheypark, balancing out a great top 5. What do you think about this? This is Cedar Flags, and I'll see you all later.
Doohickeys that go in and out, you'll see, to make you as Hersheypark happy as happy can be.